Hello, I'm Tan the Tambi OTC channel. Now, when I do videos on my channel, I usually, if I approach something about, just something that I want to talk about, even if it's very brief, and that's how it is a lot of the time, and I'm not always good at constructing that. I'm never good with that stuff. Once again, I'm not a freaking professional, not even close, and I never said I freaking was. Unlike some other people who say they're an engineer. But I just realized I don't want to be doing stuff like this unless it's like maybe I should focus more on video game related passions. Because after doing the Asmongold thing, people are freaking dickheads from that. They did not make them. If they truly were from his community, they not only made my point stand out more, and technically I am relevant because those people are making it relevant. Because that was one of the points I was talking about was some of the toxic behavior there. And I know that every fan base has toxic people. Do you expect me not to know that? I can't mention every little thing and remember to mention it in one video, even when I'm writing a script or not. So, what the frick? But at least people haven't gotten to that, but I had to make sure I got to it first before people tried to. But then again, most of those people probably don't even know some of the other videos freaking exist or bother to. But yeah, like this is like that video, those videos blew up, but they're not what I want to be known for. What I actually enjoy and am more passionate about, I should say, should be what I'm recognized for. I like my comic book readings because they allow me to utilize my different voices I can do, or maybe do some art for the channel or something. Technically, how I set things up is a way of doing art just because of how I want things set up and decorated. I mean, a lot of people decorate their setups and rooms and such in different unique ways to their preference and such. That's kind of its own art, as well as some of the drawings, whether it's on the table here or something else. But oops. But I don't want to be recognized for drama stuff. Like the reason I talked about that stuff was it was something I was passionate about talking about at the time, and I felt like nobody else was talking about it. Where people came to me saying, "How ironic! You don't even talk about Mizkif yet. This is serious." Shut the frick up. Do you know how many fricking channels like Atazi and Atazi now, but there were tons of channels that covered his bull crap. And then he's not gonna win the lawsuits, by the way. If he does, I'll be surprised. And then frickin' Hassan. There are so many people that have already covered that. So I would just be repeating a lot of the same stuff. And honestly, it's just kind of boring to me to repeat the same stuff. I don't want to do that. So there was only one person that I was passionate about talking about at the time that, yeah, I wanted to talk about. It was something that I was actually interested in and didn't see many other people talking about. And yet people try to get on my case about it. Frick off. Oh, it's getting dark in here. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's I don't want to be remembered for that stuff. People got on my case. I barely get to comment, yet people were calling me unhinged for trying to get to every comment, trying to debunk some of the things that they were saying. Hell, they even got rude to the points that I had to I just said smartass things back at them. Or I would just shoot them down and say, please don't bring this bullying stuff to my channel. We don't need this preschool level bullying, so please leave. And I've already heard this bull crap before. But I'm not trying to bully back or be rude. Probably, I don't know, you gotta be careful with what you say, because nowadays people take things so freaking seriously and so ridiculously, yet That is not the freaking purpose of or the motivation behind what I'm trying to say or do. And it's like, you just can't avoid somebody trying to find some sort of problem. People are just freaking ridiculous nowadays. But they only see you as ridiculous. They never see themselves, and they will never freaking admit it. No matter what, they will never give up. But that doesn't mean I will give up either. If I do want to talk about something, I will talk about it. Maybe I should script those videos though, so that they're more hard hitting. I think those ones should definitely be taken the most seriously if I am to do that stuff and to have an actual script. Because I mostly went in just with my own personal thoughts on mind at the time. And I do get easily distracted. So I'm hoping that won't happen much when I'm doing stuff in the future for that. So maybe I should take that stuff more seriously. Unless it's something that I feel like doesn't really need too much of that behind it. Like, for example, the recent Resident Evil 5 thing. I had very simple things on mine, very few things. That was basically it. But you never know how somebody's going to take even that. So it's like, what do you do? But I'm also a channel trying to fight back against stuff like bullying, and especially on my platform. It's my channel that I'm trying to run here, and I don't want such a toxic environment. I'm trying to actually like do some sort of change, make some sort of difference, even if it's just among my channel. Like, it's my channel. I do what the frick I want, kind of like what Juve says with his channel and the stuff he does. But yeah, people apparently don't always accept that or care. And yeah, I don't know. And I know it's predictable to say world's more ridiculous and all that. It really does feel like it's ridiculous. It's probably the same feeling that I talked about when I was talking about the video games thing, why video games probably feel more boring nowadays than they used to, and it's because of certain comfort zones and such, and things we didn't have back then, such as like indie games. We didn't really have much for indie companies, or at least indie games themselves that weren't still had big publishers or whatever. But yeah, I don't want to be known for that kind of bullcrap. I want to be known for things I actually have fun with, that I enjoy and I want other people to enjoy. Yet people gotta make a freaking fuss of it. And I love talking about nerd crap. I would rather talk about that crap. So whatever. But yeah, like, and also you gotta keep in mind the Asmongold thing was something that I held off talking about him for a very freaking long time. You gotta give me credit for having the patience to finally say anything about him, because he has pissed me off for a long time with, and no, I'm not talking about political stuff. Once again, I don't want any kind of political stuff on my channel or to even be talked about on the channel unless I have to briefly mention it in the same way I'm mentioning now. But because most stuff that's used as political, first off, it's all over the place. It's honestly kind of boring and predictable nowadays. And it's just not me. It's not what I want to do for my channel. I never want to touch that kind of stuff. So I keep away in a far away distance as far as possible. And yeah, or at least I try my best ability to not have that kind of stuff on the channel. But just like bullying, you can't. It's hard to get rid of, to take care of it all on your channel. So yeah, but I try my best. And I do try to get to every comment, even if it's multiple times. I don't think comments are a bad thing. It's what I want to do on my channel. I want to be able to talk to people and interact, say my part, whether I'm debunking or just saying something kind. But yeah, sometimes you just don't know what to say. So don't say anything at all. But yeah, like that video was not a good example. Not so much the video itself, but just like how ridiculous the comments got. Like, it was crazy. And like, I knew those people were trying to get something out of me. That was their whole purpose in the first place. But I tried to show that I could shoot them down and make show them that they are not always in the right, that they aren't always going to win a situation unless there's somebody with genuine like criticisms and stuff. And I saw a lot of flaws. There was one that was very obvious that I made a nostalgia critic reference to, because I saw the exact same thing that Nostalgia Critic criticized in his It 2017 review, and I'm like, really, dude? Really? Said almost the exact same thing that was just criticized and made look like a joke? We're running out of material for sure. And also, technically, he was jumping to conclusions on me, so that's not great. That's not a good thing that anybody should be doing. Nobody should be doing that kind of crap. But nonetheless, I would rather be remembered for doing my comic book readings or talking about something more video game related, something I'm passionate about that isn't frickin' another YouTuber or streamer. But I'll have to remember in the future if I'm going to talk about that stuff. I kind of think that the comments did technically help me too to have more material than I otherwise would, hence why that video was like 30 minutes long, because people actually gave me more material to talk about when I did that. So it's like, oh boy, I actually have more to talk about. But then it because of that, I forgot other things to mention. So I couldn't get every single thing in that video, and I don't really have a good memory, so of course I'm not going to remember to mention every little thing. So, yeah. And I don't think I should bother to anyways, so that's your problem now. You're just going to have to figure out what it is. Put the puzzle together, so to say. But you have an awesome day nonetheless. Tell me if there's anything interesting or whatever that came out of this video. Sorry, it's just this background. But I will see you next time. You have an awesome day. There's just quite a few things I want to do for the channel. That's trying to keep a lot of toxic frickin' things being said on the channel and such. And just those types of people that are just really nasty or rude. Try to keep them away from the channel or to have them back off even. And most of the time, maybe I should just resort to freaking blocking or removing. But the reason I don't know if I can handle doing that is the reason that some people might look at it as me just throwing opinions away and being narcissistic myself. So that's why it makes it so difficult to approach that stuff, because people will see me in a different light or think of it like that. But that's not the reason at all. That's not the motivation either. So that's what makes some of that stuff so difficult to approach and to whether I should get rid of it or not. But then there's other things I realize people are trying to do with those comments, such as they're trying to frickin', of course, I forget the word for it now, but ratio me, I guess it would be called. Like I saw people trying to ratio me, and it's almost like the only people that come are the dickheads. So how the hell do I attract just the dickheads when maybe it's because of the topic? That makes sense. The topic at hand is probably what attracts the dickheads, because it seems more likely with that one. Where other situations, like my Dragons of Deltora, I had a lot of people who were very nice about that and actually were happy I made those videos, even though I never got to finish the reading. Hell, I even had criticism that wasn't bad criticism. Like, people wanted me to do my normal voice instead of the goofy Muldrin voice I was doing for the narration parts. But yeah, I'll think about doing that in the future too for that if I come back because I actually recorded a video for that and it sadly got deleted, which sucked. But you never know what frickin' things are gonna happen with that kind of crap. Um, I also had a video that like cut off on me before I even knew it cut off, so that pissed me off too. And I think that was also Dragons of Deltora. And those reasons, it's almost like Destiny was telling me stop reading this, but I don't agree that it was Destiny. I think uh, it was just dickhead moments of YouTube's fault or whatever the recording at the time was fault. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, sorry I got a little on off topic. I just sometimes speak my mind, drift off. I'm sorry if I do that a lot. I also noticed this Joker's kind of falling over and right in the middle between these two. But yeah, I hope you found something interesting nonetheless. And that's about it. See ya. Bye, Jimmy's mom.